And for more on the attack in Nice, we're joined live by Joav Toker. He's a professor at the American Graduate School in Paris. Thank you so much for joining us. First, what do you make of President Hollande and his government's response to this attack, extending the state of emergency? Is it enough, and is what he's doing enough?
No, certainly it is not enough. I mean, just the extension of the extra 3 months of the state of emergency, which was supposed to get to an end within 10 days from now. I would say beyond that particular extension, that the state of emergency per se is not really aimed mainly at fighting terrorism in the operational sense. I would assume that the value of such a situation, which is highly controversial, as you know, all over the democratic states, and America has known that through the controversy around the Patriot Act at the time, it is mainly a political one. It is a mean which has a lot of advantages, many politicians think, in terms of public opinion and the preparedness of the population to support anxious situations such as the ones that is affronting France and other nations across the world. In terms of fighting terrorism in the operational sense, sure enough, the state of emergency permits further freedom, further possibilities in terms of purchasing, in terms of speeding up procedures, which could make the chase of suspects more efficient. But it is far from being enough when it comes to the huge amount in terms of information, in terms of intelligence, in terms of coordination between the several and multiple arms in different French administrations and French military systems. So we're far from even hoping that the state of emergency per se may solve the problem.
Joav, you know, France has been the target of several attacks in the last 2 years. So what needs to happen to prevent these things from happening there?
Well, this is the question which you hear actually both in France and abroad. Why is it that seemingly France is the #1 target, at least in the European context? And now, assuming that we're speaking about the tragedy last night in Nice, indeed linked to a radical Islam movement, which is not yet proven and which is not yet clear according to the information we're getting here at this moment. But assuming there would be some connection, then there are very good reasons. There are indeed two sets of reasons why would France be such a high priority target. One of them goes all the way back to history and is alimented by a lot of geostrategic reasons. France has been a colonial power. France is very active on the battlefield in Iraq and in Syria and in Africa. So it's a clear-cut and a clearly designated enemy of those radical Islam movements. On the other hand, and this is perhaps linked in a more intimate way to the reasons which may explain what happened yesterday in Nice, France has the largest population of Muslim affiliation in Europe, and France has a lot of problems regarding what globally could be speak phenomena related to ghettoization and exclusion and a lot of social problems which in one way or the other do designate ethnic minorities, mainly Muslim, not only, but mainly Muslim, which may feed all kinds of frustrations and all kinds of potential radicalization if and when it comes to Islamic radicalization.
Joav, very quickly, just have a few seconds left. How are the French people feeling there right now? The French president said the country needs to get used to living with this new normal. Are they angry? Are they frustrated? How are they feeling today?
I would say that the overall global balance is that of great confusion, sadness, because there's something that, as you know, France has gone through 1 month of soccer, of football tournament. It went well. There were a lot of anxiety before that. It went well, and then on the day of the Bastille, on the 14th of July, this hit. So there is some kind of sadness, confusion, a lot of questions mark in the end, and a lot of enigmatic elements related to what actually happened. We'll have to wait to get some more information to see through these things, which may be related also to the way public opinion feels about it.
All right, Joav Toker, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us from Paris.